Yes, we're back with a Celtic Unrestricted View. It's myself, JP, with your hostess for the mostest. Well, folks, what a night we've got in store for us. We've also got a debutant to the podcast, Mr. Alan Stirling. How are we, Alan? I hope you're well, mate, and thank you very much for taking up the opportunity to come and join myself and the guy that's always clinging to me. But how are you, mate?
Magic, JP. Thanks for having us on.
Great, mate. It's great to have you on.
Cheers.
Mr. Andy Gray, hope you're well, mate. It's nice to see that you've made your couch a little bit more presentable there, mate. But I hope you're well, mate.
I'm all right, mate, but I'm still missing the cloak. So it might be back eventually. Don't know when it'll be back right enough, but the cloak's missing, mate. But apart from that, I'm well, mate. So
I'm raging, mate, because every time we come to your house, we can't do the time walk. There's no cloak.
To be fair, mate, after spending the day with you, I need to time walk places anytime. You know what I mean? So, but apart from spending about 10 hours with you a day, mate, I've been no bad, mate. So, and also, welcome to Alan as well. Good to have him on, mate. Been chatting the last few days, so good to get a chat with him on this as well, mate. So, all in all, looking forward to a good podcast, mate.
Yes, and we are going to find out how good Alan really is when we test his knowledge later on tonight. We've got Who Am I quiz as well, so you're right in with the sharts tonight, mate. You're right in with the sharts tonight.
Look forward to that.
First up, lads, before we go any further, there's a few comments come in, so we'll go to them first as we normally do. And Jem, regular YouTube commenter. Evening, folks. Guess we're waiting on the latecomers, JP and Ryan. Say the best to last, and Jem. You know what it's like. Come on, you should not be now.
It's tough at the top, and Jem. Tough at the top.
Our friend Jerry H, who's normally right good at the quiz. Buenas noches, my amigos. Now, what part of Spain are you from, Jerry? Springburn? Because Jerry's no Spanish. I can assure you that. The Pork Chop Express agrees with Anne Jem. And reckons that we are a pair of divas. So there you go, Ryan. So we're actually getting at time, mate. We've not even started, man. That's unbelievable.
I've been called a lot worse, mate, so I'll take that.
Definitely. Craig White Legend joining us as well. Good evening, mate. Good evening. Hope you're well. I hope you've had a nice week so far. We're on to Hump Day. Ryan likes that because he uses that for something else, right enough. But
you get that again.
He's on over that is. He's on over that is about 10:30 usually. You see what I'm talking about there. There's Corvo joining us as well. He says, big up, folks. Good evening, Corvo. Hope you're well, mate. Nice to see you on. And it was nice to see your team win at Ibrox as well. That was fun. And there's our good man there, Mr. Entertainment, Mr. Worldwide. And
thank
evening,
you,
boys and girls. Hope you're well. Welcome on board, Alan. This isn't a spaceship or anything, lads, so don't get carried away here, you know. This isn't the Pirates of the Caribbean you're in here. You're in with the big boys now, mate. Wait till this quiz, you think you're on board with anything, wait till this quiz later on. You think Dare Nelas and who's the other one? Charles Eduardo Corridon, my bad. Oh, wait, see what I've got for you tonight.
And you're making some of these up.
I'm telling you. I'm no Charlie McGrew. Don't worry about it.
We'll be naming ball boys next.
So tonight, guys, what's tonight all about? Well, I'll tell you exactly what tonight's all about. Celtic and Trebles just marry really well, don't they? They just really, really do. And we'll start off, Alan. We'll come to yourself, mate. Obviously, this week, Celtic have announced 3 new signings and new additions to the squad, mate. First of all, again, welcome on, and what's your thoughts in terms of where we're sitting in pre-season and obviously the new signings we've made?
Well, especially that Rocky one today, I'm excited with him. He looks proper decent for 21. Another aspect to our game that I think we were kind of lacking the last couple of years was goals for set pieces at a lot of times. And looking at his record last year, he's got 4 goals for 25 appearances for a centre half. So he can only help with that regard, kind of contributing towards goals. So he looks a decent prospect. The there are two guys, obviously we don't know a great deal about them, but you can say that about Maeda and Hatate. We paid just over $1 million for them. They turned out fantastically well, but Narahan, Ideguchi, so you don't know what you're getting yet. We just need, only time will tell, but we could either have a kind of Hatate or a Ideguchi, but hopefully we put our faith in the scouting system and hopefully we turn out a few gems for a couple of million.
I think that's the thing, Ryan, as Alan says there, mate. I think he's spot on in terms of putting my faith in the scouting system, the recruitment team. Because as we've spoken about numerous times, mate, I don't think they've gave us a bum steer yet, so I don't think we've got any reason not to believe in them.
Alan's right, mate. We can't fully judge the signings yet, but you've got to give the recruitment staff their due. They've obviously done their due diligence, and then we've got to just trust what they've done so far and trust that the guys are going to come in and make an impact. People are saying their project signings. For me, we'll obviously probably get made into it as we go along. But the guy, I'll just call him Rocky because I'm not going to say his name. Big Rocky. He's experienced for I think he's 21, 22. He's experienced for his age. I think he's played over 50 odd first team games. So he's not a project in my opinion. He's coming in here to challenge Vickers and Starfelt, i.e. either play between them or at least competition better than Welsh and Kobayashi. So all in all, mate, you've just got to trust the recruitment stuff.
Absolutely. I think personally, like obviously we have a model. So the model is, we buy young, we develop it, and then we sell it on at big profit. That's been the model now for as long as I can remember. Thing is with that, Alan, is sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But especially under Ange, mate, we were in this sort of bubble that nearly every signing he brought in was kind of bang on the money. So again, mate, like say with these new signings, I don't think we're in any way, sort of shape or form to start panicking the new or to start, because I've seen comments about people saying, how good are these guys and what are these guys all about? Where are they coming from? Well, they're coming from South Korea and the other one's coming from Poland. That's where they're coming from. So how good they are, time will tell, and obviously being in a Celtic jersey, but the due diligence, I reckon, would have been there, mate, before Celtics went and signed any of these guys. So I think it's silly just to hit out with stupid statements like how good are these guys. They must be at some sort of level, otherwise Celtic wouldn't be recruiting these boys at all.
I think you've got about 80 or 90% of the signings in the last 2 years. We've had the gun running. I think they've all done, say, Ideguchi, and then you look at McCarthy, Shaw, Urigide, but I don't think they were Ange's signings. So I think you could only pick off the top of my head would be Ideguchi. That's not really shown that well, but that's quite a good strike rate. If you can only name one out of that many players that they've brought in that's not contributed to the team pretty well. So I think you do need to kind of trust them until it goes otherwise. Yeah.
I think you do, Ryan. I think that's another thing that for me that's a big factor, mate, is trust. I think that's what that's what's needed. If you've not got that, then there's always that element of doubt.
Aye, you've got to trust the board, mate, the recruitment and the manager. I don't get where some of the panic is. Well, with some fans are, we need to get guys in, We've signed 5 players. We've only let go, technically, we've only let go 1 because Moy retired. So I know Osas just left to go to a team in France. So
you're raging, aren't you?
Aye, I'm there. I'm raging. I don't need to slaughter him again. No, I'm not kidding. It's just unfortunate, mate, that he was signed, and I think he was maybe just had to take a punt on him and Liam Shaw. He's obviously away as well.
TikTok videos.
Aye, that I know, mate. I think they've maybe tried to take a punt on 2 guys, maybe and try and develop them, and maybe they'll turn into players, and they just weren't, unfortunately, they weren't up to Celtic standard. The boy Liam Shaw, he thinks he's away to Wigan. He might do well under Sean Maloney. We don't know, but Celtic are a different standard to a lot of teams, especially the demand to win and the demand to do well in Europe and win trophies, mate. And not a lot of people in football win trophies, JP. Not a lot of people have got a winning mentality, and you need to play with a certain team and you need to have a certain standard of mentality to play in a team like Celtic. So just unfortunate at the age they are, the guys just didn't work out. But you've got to trust the board, JP. You've won 5 trophies in 2 years. You've won 11 out of 12 leagues. You've won 5 trebles. So just kind of let, like I've said to you, I've said to guys in group chats, I've said to a lot of people, just let the manager, let the recruitment staff just do what they need to do. We can't control what we can talk and debate, but we can't control what they do. We can say we need this or we want this, but I think Rodgers knows what he needs. He's enough time out to assess the squad, and I'd imagine within the next maybe 10 days or so, even into the new season, I think by, let's be fair, everybody's all wanting guys in to play against Rangers in the third. They want the team settled for that. And I'm going to put my hat in the line right now. By the third we play them, the team will be settled and the team will be flying. The team that goes to Ibrox will be probably the first 11, unless by injury. So I would just kind of, I know people want Joe Hart, but if Joe Hart's number 1 for the start of the season, right, fine. He's number 1, we'll just need to deal with it. And then we'll just wait and hope for another goal to come in if that's the case. But I think JP, like Alan and you have said, you've just got to trust the board, mate, and trust the recruitment staff, because give or take 1 or 2 signings, they've no real let us down, mate. So I would just kind of play it day by day and just see how we go in the next few weeks.
Yeah, definitely. Alan, obviously we'll go through them one by one. With the 2 years, I'll go through them one by one. But we'll start with this man here. Hung Yun Yang, his name is, and that's how you pronounce that fully. I've practiced it now, so I know that's how you pronounce it now. And I'm the only one on here that can do it, so...
I'm not doing
it.
So, there's a man there. And obviously I've done a wee bit of due diligence on myself and in terms of what type of player he is, how he looks. Have you managed to have a look at any of them yourself, or
it's just the usual kind of YouTube clips that you watch that most players look great, but he looks like a kind of tricky player. Looks as if he's got a good bit of potential. Not quite as tricky as Jota, but along the kind of same lines. He does look decent on the YouTube videos, but we've obviously been tricked by that before with a few people, so just need to kind of see how it pans out. But he looks like your kind of typical kind of winger. Obviously, I think we're lacking there with Jota leaving.
Yep. But he plays on the right, doesn't he? So he's kind of, he doesn't really stick to the left. But I know what you mean though. But we haven't replaced Jota, and you've signed the boy Tilio now as well, Marco Tilio. So obviously,
you find with the wingers like last couple of years, they kind of alternate between wings even throughout the game. So you're looking. I was hoping for Haksabanovic to kind of push on this year, but every time. He's got all the ability, but every time he's kind of get a chance, he just kind of flatters to deceive. I hope that kind of comes back to bite what I'm saying, but every time he's no kind of producing the final goods. So hopefully one of the guys will brought in or somebody else can come in to fill Jota's boots, but as I say, only time will tell.
Just before obviously Corvo has just given me a wee compliment, and he says JP sounded fluent Korean there, saying Yang's name. Thanks very much. You think that was good, Corvo? Wait till you see the next guy.
Corvo.
When we get to him, mate.
See the half-10 show that I've got. JP's got a language course, by the way, he does. If you want to sign up to it. That's what he does in his spare time, language courses.
It's interpreting for a Springburn Neds.
It's interpreting me after 2 beers.
My name isn't Rab McGlinchey, though, so it's a wee bit different. It's a wee bit different. We comment here from Mr. Francis Lester. He says, I'm liking the background art, boys. Aye, thanks very much, Francis. What I will say is this man here, Francis Lester, has done fantastic artwork for the podcast. And just to second, basically, what Big Alex says to him there, the work he's done for us for the podcast in terms of our live event on Friday is just nothing short of phenomenal. I'm more than happy with it, Ryan. I really am, and I don't know how you feel yourself, mate, but it's just nothing short of phenomenal. And he's a nice wee touch at the end of when he's put in with the sponsorship as and stuff as well. I actually didn't notice that till I sent Bev the photo, and it was then I noticed what he wrote on it. So it was phenomenal. So I'm more than pleased with it, mate. And I obviously I don't think I can thank him enough, to be honest.
No, it's amazing, mate. Obviously, with the pleasure of meeting him today, mate, and having a chat with him and picking up the goods, mate. So, mate, brilliant guy. What he's gave us is, aye, Francis, remember, big man, only cans at 10:30 tonight. That's what we're on the night, big man, with double dead on the night. By the way, yeah, Francis knows what I'm talking about. Double dead, that's what I'm doing today. He knows what's happening.
He's seen that today, aye.
He's only 29
Hold on
minutes past.
Hold on a wee minute. I don't like what's going on here. There's comments coming up, right? Just before we go any further, right? I'll try to speak about these 3 new players. I'm getting distracted with these viewers. And Jem reckons that I speak a few languages and it's not always suitable for audiences, though. Are you fooling me, Jem, whoever you are? Like, seriously? I need to start looking over my shoulder.
You've got a fan, JP.
Oh, by the way, aye. I have an by the way, but I forgot to switch it on. Hold on now.
That's in the back room waiting on you.
Aye. But no, superb. Again, Francis Lester, brilliant. Honestly, just I can't thank the guy enough. I really can't. Hopefully we'll have pictures and stuff next week after the live event's been, and we'll be able to show the viewers and stuff on here what I'm chatting about just now over it. So yeah, superb. Ryan, sorry mate. So again, mate, now I got a chance to bring you in, but this man here, Hyung Young Yan. So, aye mate, tell us your thoughts.
Aye, similarly echo what Alan says. You can see that he's ticking. You can see he get potential. I think it's one of the ones. I think because we've not replaced Jota yet. I think some fans are might be a bit underwhelmed by it. But I wouldn't be underwhelmed by it. I would just kind of what I would like to say is just trust the process. Just trust the guys are going to come in and do well. Yes. I think they've signed long-term contracts as well, so the club obviously feel they've got potential to come in and do well. And let's be fair, I know people don't want to talk about it, but we are a selling club, and by giving them a 5-year deal, they must think they've got the potential to make the club money down the line. Mm-hmm. And that's the way business works. We have got to protect us, and they've got to protect themselves by having long-term contracts, because if it doesn't work out, then they've got a long-term contract, which means they're guaranteed to get a payday in some capacity if it doesn't work. So it works both ways, but it looks tricky. It looks a typical winger. Typical wingers that we like at Celtic, the flowing attack and aggressive play. And it's kind of what Rodgers has spoke about, the power, the tickiness, the aggression to go and play. So he suits the bill, he fits the bill perfectly well, mate. So, but like I've always said, mate, what Alan says, we can look at Y-Scout, we can look at YouTube, we can look at clips. We get stung with looking at Bangura. Thought he was brilliant. Bio looked amazing.
Have we signed the wrong one? It was his brother we still signed.
Aye. Marion Shev looks amazing. It didn't work out. Other guys have came to Shev no work out.
Good player, by the way.
No, I know.
Against us last season.
It just didn't work out for me. We don't know what happens behind the scenes when these guys come, mate. But I think he looks decent, mate. But the proof of when they put him at the start of the season. But they will need to come in and do well to get past, for me anyway, Abada. I think Abada, for me, should be assuring every week, because his goal scoring abilities, assisting abilities, it's up there with the best of stats. So it'll be interesting, mate, to see how the season starts out.
Absolutely. What I do know of the boy Yang is he's multi-skilled, so he can play in more than one position.
Multi-skilled.
It's not multi-footed by all means, definitely no. I don't even know what that is. I really don't. That's a new word that's been plucked out of nowhere and used. But no, he's multi-skilled. He can play in more than one position. And he can also play on the sort of half positions, the modern day inverted winger type positions. It's been like created by these new modern managers. This guy is, I know, I'm going to tell you now, he's a real deal. right? I know people are going to go, how do you know that? All you need to do is go and look at the footage of Gang 1's friendly against Tottenham last season, at this stage of the season. And he totally destroyed, he single-handedly destroyed Tottenham himself. He was pulling guys all over the place. He was, I didn't sound right there, I didn't know, that's really terrible. No, he was dragging guys all over the place. He was just for all the OnlyFans viewers and that. I don't want to get him too excited. I know it's only 9 o'clock, so I thought I better correct myself there. But no, he was dragging people out of position. He was using his pace, his energy. He was pressing the ball. He can defend. He can get back and chase the ball. He likes to go by people. He stands people up. He goes. He can go one. He can go the other. He's comfortable with his 2 feet. But he's also quite clever. He's a technician, but he's also quite clever in that he knows his next 2 moves. The only other guy I remember that was able to play like that was Nakamura, where he was 1 and 2 moves ahead of the rest of the people beside him, or the people he's playing against, sorry. And that boy is like that. He picks the ball up in a really good area. He always gives himself a yard or 2 of space. I think we're in for a treat. I really do when he gets going. And obviously, and if he can build himself into the squad and as part of the first 11, I really do think we're in for a treat. I really do. Enough on Yang. Obviously, we'll move on. This man here, Alan.
Aye.
Hugh Kwon, his name is. He's a central defensive midfielder. He can also play as an 8, a number 8, but he prefers to play as a 6. And he just looks everything that we've been looking for in that position for the last few years. I mean, we've had a go at it. We've had Abelgard in there. We tried McCarthy. We brought in Iwata. But, we've just not quite got it right in terms of the makeup of the team. But this big guy fits the bill. But not only does he fit the bill in terms of his strength, he's very good technically with the ball as well. Now, people's gripes with this one is he was playing in the K-League too. I don't think that matters. I really don't. I don't think that matters. His natural ability, I always say, lads, see on a footage, right, you can make them look good by editing footage so it's just other goals or other passes or all this. See when you're watching footage, I ask anybody that does this, if Celtic are going to sign somebody new, go and look at what they're like when the build-up play's happening round about them before they get the ball, where they're positioned on the park, the way they take the ball, the touch they've got, the first touch, whether it's a really good touch, do they need a couple of touches to get it under control, or is it like Kenny Miller, it's a cross, his first touch is a cross, because he'd need to chase it right down, I don't know, Springboy Hill. Honestly, see if you crossed the ball to him at Cranhill Park, his first touch would be hitting the bottom of Springboy Hill. I swear to God, his first touch was murder. And that boy's not like that. That boy can get the ball and he shields it really well. But obviously, Alan, I don't know, again, mate, I don't know what your thoughts on the big fella is, but again, I think his strengths are getting the ball, moving it to somebody else, but doing it at tempo.
Reading the reviews about him and watching any videos, he looks like a bit of a boy, a bit of an animal. Like everything he's going through players when he's winning the ball, he looks as if he's over there to win the ball back and then distribute it to somebody else. And he seems to, by what you're saying, he seems to do that pretty well. And with Rodgers coming back in, he was partial to a kind of double pivot. So like 2 sitting midfielders, so somebody to go beside Callum McGregor. So maybe if he hits the ground running, he'll be that guy that's breaking up the play, and Callum can maybe push up a wee touch more. I don't see where they've paid a bit of money for Iwata last year that seems slightly similar. So I don't know where they would all fit in, but he looks like your Neil Lennon kind of, if you could compare him to that, somebody that just gets the ball back after the opposition and then breaks up the play and distributes it, and he looks as if he does that pretty well.
Ryan, I think the key for me, what got me intrigued in and watching a wee bit Merriam was the fact that he's been labelled the Korean Rodri. Now I don't know whether that means he'll start greeting when obviously Rodri did when Scotland beat him. Oh, that's happened and that. I don't know if he's like that, but his first interview, mate, he's ready to fight. So, in my opinion, mate, that's fighting talk right away. So that's right. Here we go. I'm ready to do it. So I don't believe the rumours. The transcript of what he said, but I'm going to be the best player and I'm doing this, and then I'm going to either move to the Bundesliga or the Premier League. Listen, maybe deep down, I'd imagine these guys are ambitious. I'm not going to be naive enough and stupid enough to not realise that, but I think, being honest with you, I think that I think this guy could be that missing link we've had and we've been looking for, Ryan, with a bit of steel and the number 6 role, mate.
Aye, like Alan says as well, we signed a Water as well, and you don't want to have too many guys for one position. Aye, maybe 2 for each position, but you don't really want to fill the midfield with too much because, be honest, unless this guy's going to come in and be right exceptional, your midfield three is probably going to be O'Reilly and McGregor and Hatate every week unless there's injuries or rotations. So these guys will need to be good to come in and play. Yep. He does look like a bit of the nasty side of him, which I think we've been missing. Is he going to be the nasty guy that we think? We don't know. We can only go on YouTube and we can only go on stats. But what we can go on is some players talk a good game and then they set themselves up for a fall. But foreign guys don't really do it much. It's mainly the kind of English guys or the kind of maybe certain countries that maybe like the Far East guys don't really talk themselves big. Like Maeda, Hatate, Kyogo. These type of guys have never came and says, "Oh, I'm going to do this." They're just happy to be here, and they just feel privileged to be here. So the fact that he's come a bit of fighting talk and see if that guy says he wants to be the best player in the world or he wants to be the best player at Celtic, brilliant, because at least you're going to get the best out of him, which is what I want. So for me, I've no qualms about if the guy's ambitious. He's a football player. He's come to Celtic to hopefully do well for Celtic. And let's be fair, JP, some of their countries aren't as well off as what maybe our country might be or other countries might be. So they've no came for. Some of the guys might make for money. So when they get a chance to go and progress himself, then fair play. So if a guy comes in and is amazing, sign a long-term contract, if he's here 2-3 years and gets a big move and gets us money, then fair play. That's the way it happens. But he looks a bit of a player, mate. Doesn't matter what division you play in, mate. If you're good enough, you'll play. If you've got enough experience, you'll play. If the manager likes you, you'll play. So Rodgers has had the say-so in these two guys. And obviously Rocky. So we've just got to trust the manager, mate. And I'm all for
it. Aye. No, definitely. I'm the exact same, mate. I'm all for it as well because these guys have obviously been recruited and the due diligence has been done on them. So I don't have any negative vibes in me at all about these boys at all. I've got no negative thoughts about them at all. I think these guys will be good players. I really, really do. I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be fine. I know they're young boys, and I know people are saying, these guys are project signings, and I don't think they are. I think they're just under the radar quality type players. That's what I see. Abada was under the radar.
There's a lot of people judging them because of the small transfer fees, but you can't really judge that over the last few years. Look at the amount of money we spent on Ayeti and Barkas, and still get them steal away Jaffers and new. So you just need to kind of judge it with your eyes when they come in. As I say,
a few things as well, and people need to remember Larson was 650,000.
Aye, Moravchik for 300 grand.
There you go.
Nakamura for 2.5 million. You could go on and on with players that we've signed of that calibre for no a lot of money. So it doesn't always work out when you pay the excessive amounts of money.
And obviously, the third signing this week is this man here. And the way you pronounce his name is Mike Narowski. I know people on here probably think that sounds like a character out of Monsters Inc. But it's definitely no. And there's obviously been severe due diligence done in this one, Alan, because they have went and spent over £4 million on this fella. So I do think, this guy, I don't think this guy's coming to sit on the bench, mate. I think he's coming in to play straight away.
Aye, 4.3 million for a 21-year-old's quite substantial. I think you need to look at the centre half I've got now. I know you spoke about it before, but apart from Starfelt and Carter Vickers, like, even watching the last couple of games, like, would anybody be first if we put Lau or Scales in front of Kobayashi and Welsh? Because I think every time that we've seen kind of Kobayashi and Welsh, have no kind of made us think they're anything special. So I think we definitely need a bit of backup in there, even if it's competition, just to push Starfelt and Carter Vickers. Because if we want to make that next step in Europe, then you need the squad to be a lot better than Kobayashi and Welsh. Not against the guys, but if we want to progress more, then we'll need that. And everything about this guy that we see and read about, he looks as if he's got to take us up that wee level with regards to squad depth.
I've got to think maybe there with Alan, Ryan. I've got to agree with Alan there, because the boy Narowski, he looks as if it's a signing that sort of came from nowhere. It wasn't really, there wasn't a lot of rumour behind it. There was like the rumour was that Celtic have hijacked this deal, and then that materialised quite quickly, and then obviously he was seen here, and now he's a Celtic player. So again, mate, I think that's complementary to the recruitment team and the fact that they worked quickly and efficiently to get that done.
Aye, I think I watched his press the other day. I think he says it was only about 2 weeks ago that he learned of it. And he says as soon as his agent phoned him, he says, "Do you want to go?" And he says, "Aye, let's go, get it done." So that's a good step. He looks, like I says, for his stats for a 21, 22-year-old, he's experienced. He's played enough European football as well. Lega finished second last year, so he's improved in because the year before, I think they finished near the bottom. So, well, in terms of what they're used to finishing, because they're the biggest team really in Poland, Lega. So, and they went right down the pecking order in that league table. So, he's got them back up to second place. Didn't win the league, but he's improved them. He's very highly regarded, according to a lot of Polish journalists and a lot of Polish media. So, in my opinion, I said it on Twitter as soon as he signed and since we had rumours about him. I've done a bit on him. He looks solid. He might not be like the best in the air, or he might not be this and that, but he's played at a decent level. Like Lega, a decent team. He's played in Europe. I think he's played for the youth system during Poland as well. So in Poland, teams like Poland, mate, they've always been renowned for being good defensively because they're very hard to beat, especially in your big competitions. They don't score a lot of goals, apart from really Lewandowski, but they're good defensively. They're very sturdy and very they're hard to break down. So he's come from a good background, mate. He's come from a good team, and by all accounts, I think the due diligence out of probably maybe everybody, I would say, just by me reading between the lines, in terms of the money we've spent, out of the 5 signings we've done, I think he could be the potential one that we've spent maybe the most on to get it right, because Celtic very rarely, I know we spent £3 million in Bernabeu, Bolingoli, etc. But to sign £4.3 million for a centre-back, we don't do it often. I know we spent money in Vickers and we've spent money in Julian in the past, but very rarely. Starfelt was $4 and a bit million, and we've kind of done well at Starfelt. So he's running about the same bracket, maybe in the price-wise. So I think he's come to challenge Starfelt, and I think he's come to challenge Vickers. Vickers is the best of the two. Vickers is the best defender in Scotland. But who's to say this boy might not be better than him? We can't tell that. So we've got to judge when he plays. But he's 100% coming, JP, to challenge A2. He's not going to be sitting on the bench. He's wanting to come and play.
Yeah.
And I agree with Alan that Kobayashi and Welsh, as much as they might be amazing guys and they've been amazing to get to where they are, they're not good enough to make Celtic better. They're not good enough to take us forward in Europe. Could this guy be it? It could be. So we need reinforcements, and I'm happy we've got him in. Sorry, we've got him in, mate.
I'm happy you've got your teeth in as well, mate, to be honest with you.
I'm just getting for a half tennis show, mate. I'm getting myself ready, you know what I mean?
Aye. Put your Wally dogs on you, as you call them.
Aye. I have a lot of dogs in my show at half 10, I'll tell you that.
Aye. There's a couple of them. There's a couple of them in your commenters, I know.
Woof woof.
Aye. Don't know about that, but it's howling.
Oh, you're bark up around tree there, son.
Aye. Aye, no, I think he's a spot on, lads, in terms of the new signings, the recruitment, etc. Alan, one, obviously, before we're moving on slightly, one guy I think the massive news for us was obviously the return to training and full fitness of this man here. If you want to know who it is, I'm talking about CCV, and there's a couple of people in that picture there. But I just thought that was a nice photo to put on, especially because that was a winner that day, and there's a few unhappy faces in that, so I thought that was a nice wee photo to put in, mate. But I think it's massive news for us, especially with the defensive injuries that we've got. Going into the season, because it looks like we're not going to have a right back to start the season with. So
stats don't lie. When that guy's playing, honestly, we concede far less goals, we win well games. The guy's he's a rock at the back. And was it until last year or something? Was it every game Starfelt and Carter Vickers had played together that they hadn't been beat? He's the backbone of the team. You look at him.
I still don't think they have, because Carter Vickers never played. Vickers never played. I'm saying I still don't think they have, Alan, because Carter Vickers never played at the end of the season.
You're possibly right. I think it might have been one cup game I read that was it the semi-final that they beat us in the first season. I think that was the only game, the extra time one. But he's having Callum McGregor, the first two names in the team sheet, and they're the kind of backbone of the team. That's where everything builds for. So he's instrumental with everything that Celtic do going forward.
Yeah, I think he is, mate. I think you're spot on in terms of, he's solid. He's a big character in the team as well. I think he's a big go-to guy for a lot of the younger players. And Ryan, I just think he's a big stature in the team as well. And when he's not there, you kind of notice it, And although he's not tall in height, but he's a big lad, mate. He's he carries himself really, really well, and he does things. He does things so simply that a lot of it sometimes goes unnoticed. But he's quality to watch, mate.
He's outstanding, JP. I've said plenty of times on this in general to people in group chats and whatever else. We've got a top centre-back, Premier centre-back playing for Celtic. For the value we got him for was phenomenal. Still don't know why. I don't know if it was because of his last year's contract or what. Why Spurs let him go for that amount of money, because it's crazy. We've got an absolute bargain. And I think we'll do well to keep on JP unless he's really happy here, because I think if he has another solid season and we do well in Europe, he will have his interest, he will have his suitors. But he is a good player, mate. He seems to be, he likes it here. If I was Brendan Rodgers, if there's another guy that I would want to tie down as quick as I can, and maybe another year deal, another 2-year deal, I would try and get Vickers on maybe an extra deal, mate. If it means getting more wages to get him higher, I would do it, because he's like Alan says, he's instrumental in what we do. And I feel Starfelt's a better player when he's next to Vickers. I think Starfelt, I'm not saying he needs Vickers, but I think the two of them help each other, because when Starfelt misses something, Vickers is there to cover. If Vickers can't get there on time, Starfelt set to cover, and if a good understanding, and that's what partnerships are all about, mate. You might not be the best, the two best defenders, but if you've got a good understanding, a good partnership, it helps you, and your ability goes with it as well. I've spoke how many times with Callum McGregor. The guy's different class. I know we obviously talked to a good mate Baza on here. Baza's kind of twisting my head a wee bit to maybe think Hatate could be the best in Scotland.
Don't let him do it, mate. Don't let him get in your head.
And I can see potentially why, but JP, because he's effortless, mate. Even in pre-season, he's been superb. He's just so fit. He's gorgeous, mate. He's just a gorgeous football player to watch. It's effortless, mate. And
have we still talk about Carter Vickers here? Or you talk about Callum McGregor? You talk about Barry Bannon?
Mate, them all, mate. They're all subside to my half 10 show, mate. So I need to say they're one of these guys. You know what I mean? No, but in terms of what Alan says, mate, he's spot on. I think when they two play, we're a far better team, mate. And I think the lot of panic in terms of some of the fans, or the lot of frustration. If Alistair Johnson's fit for Ross County, if Vickers fit for Ross County, we're not having this conversation, mate, because the team would be just about set to go. So it's because we've got injuries and we're wanting a better goalie, we're wanting this. And I think Awata might play right back if need be, if they two are no fit. But we could even go to a back three with Rocky, Starfelt, and if Vickers is fit. If he's no fit, I'd imagine see if we can't beat Ross County next week with either Welsh or Kobayashi and with Starfelt, if Rocky's no fit, then I'd be starting worrying about the squad, because they two should still be a standard to beat Ross County. And I know we'll probably end up a Ross County podcast if I say if we can beat Ross County comfortably, but we should be beating Ross County at home. Doesn't matter if it's the end of the season, start of the season, in the middle. We've got on reserve the new. We should be able to beat Ross County the first game of the season. So if it's a 3 at the back, 5 at the back, 4 at the back, whatever it is, we've got the standard players to do the job, mate. So let the guys do their due diligence on what we need to do. But I've no qualms about players, mate, i.e. Vickers and the right back situation, because of injuries. People know my thoughts on Ralston, mate. He's okay to come in and play against your Ross Counties and St Mirren's. But like, I don't know what you feel, Alan, but are we just happy with okay? Are we just happy? I know guys might not want to come in and play against Johnson, but that's up to, if we get a better right back in Johnson or a guy to come in and challenge him, that's up to them to fight for that place. Do I see Ralston having the ability to go over and play against Johnson? I think Johnson's a showing every week to play, because I don't think Ralston's up to the standard. But that's no, I'm not saying he's a bad player. Like you've said before, I'm talking about these guys. I'm a fan. I'm just saying my opinion. For us to get what Mr. Lawwell wants us to be, Dermot Desmond, the fans and Lawwell, we need better setting the command for European football, in my opinion.
Well, Brendan's talked about coming in, going for European football. So we've won 5 out of the last 6 domestic trophies. Obviously, that's what bread and butter. But if we want to push on in Europe, 2 points we got last year, we're going to need to push that squad up that bit more. We can't go back in with the same. It might be dominating in Scotland, but if we want to push on to that next level, then we need to find that next level of player, whether that be for the first team or whether that be for backup as well. Because the backup players need to be challenging the guys that are starting as well. And you're spot on with what you're saying. I can't see that Ralston would seriously challenge Johnston.
No, I would. No, definitely. He's never near. Johnson. I've said it numerous of times, and I said it to Ryan before we'd even kicked the ball for Celtic. I said he's got every trait that reminds me of Danny McGrain, and I've seen videos of Danny McGrain, and he's just that type of player. He's just, he's got to be very comfortable, and he does it, and he does it, and he does it, and he does it, and it doesn't matter what stage he's doing it at. Big game, wee game, big game, wee game. The Champions League, he's done it at the World Cup. He's been up against guys like Kevin De Bruyne. I've got no qualms at all with Alistair Johnson in the Champions League. I think he'll cakewalk it. I'll give you an example, right? So Juranovic gets back with Mudryk and then doesn't tackle him. And we concede at Parkhead. In my opinion, Alistair Johnson takes Mudryk out of the game, whether he gets a yellow card or no, he takes him right out of the game right before he gets anywhere near the other halfway line on that counter attack. That's the type of player Johnson is. The difference between him and Juranovic. Juranovic chases a guy back and then doesn't tackle him. See that night, man, I went mental and I went crazy. I've never done that at Celtic Park and I lost it big time. Big time. That's the first time I've ever lost it because I can't see laziness like that. I don't like that on a park. You're already back with him.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you let him then step across you to then get his shot away?
Yeah.
Move your feet. Get close to him. Make him go the other way. But don't just stone it in. I watched the reactions of the centre halves. They two were dead quiet and all. If I was Big Vickers, man, I'd have grabbed the hoodie and I've like with the neck. What are you doing? But no, as I say, 3.5 million for Alistair Johnson is absolutely highway robbery at the highest level. But lads, look, obviously we've spent a bit of time there. We've got a wee quiz to go on me. Before I do that, guys, anybody that's tuning into this podcast that maybe doesn't know, this podcast is now sponsored by A&B Entertainment. And the AB stands for Mr. Alec Beveridge. It's a DJ business, folks. And it caters for every type of functions, engagement parties, christenings, communions, weddings, anything at all. Anything at all. It's run by Mr. Alec Beveridge. You've seen his comments earlier, folks. That's his telephone number, folks. If anybody at all wishes to get in contact with him regarding that, if anybody in your family is having a party later in the year, or you even want to pass him on to a friend that you know is maybe having a party, please get in contact with him. The best way to do it, guys, is probably through WhatsApp. If you send him a wee message, he'll get back to you. He's on Instagram and Facebook as well, and it's AB Entertainment. That's all you have to look for. And again, Ryan, I've said it numerous times, mate. Bev he's not just a big Celtic fan, mate, but he's also probably one of the best, most down to earth guys I've ever met. So, as I said, it's really, really amazing to have him on board, mate.
Yeah, you're spot on, mate. Definitely, he's not just a good businessman. He's not just a good entertainer. He's a cracking guy, down to earth guy, mate, and that helps your business and it helps you when you're dealing with people, mate. And he's a massive Celtic fan, mate. Like you say, he cares for everything. If it's bar mitzvahs, what you like, if it's weddings, if it's 60s,
title winning parties,
liquidation parties, biscuit parties, only cans parties, he caters for everything, the big man. I've still to get it for my half-10 show right off, but I'll need to see when that happens. But
can't afford them, mate. That's the problem.
I can't afford them. I'm $9.95. He was a tenner, mate. Know what I mean? So, no. But listen, on a serious note, he's a cracking guy. He's got a brilliant business, and he will. Anybody who has watched the podcast does want to get in touch with him. If you do, obviously mention you've seen from us, I'm sure he'll sort you out with a good deal. Like I say, JP, it's not just a good night he puts it on. He makes people's nights. There's been a lot of good reviews about him. People can actually look at I think the company's reviews. Somebody put on actually last weekend, the week before, about how good their night was. It made their weekend, and they're so happy. And that's what you want, JP, for your occasion. It's not just a good night. You want a good night in terms of if it's karaoke and getting people up. And Alex is one of the guys, mate. He makes your night. He's not just a guy that spins the decks and puts on music. He actually gets involved and gets people happy. And that's what it's all about. So if anybody does want to get in contact with Alex, if you don't want to get in contact with Alex personally, contact myself, JP, or any of the social media platforms, and we'll get in touch for Alex for you.
Very well put, Ryan. That's why we call you Mr. Andy Gray, mate. You love a wee chat, mate.
I'm here all week. I'm here all week, mate.
Can still hear your rosary beads jingling away in your pocket there, mate. So, but folks, as I said, we're going to move on. We've got about 10 minutes left tonight, so we're going to move on, and we are going to do. Alan, you've probably seen it from a distance, mate. I don't know if the missus let you watch it on the big screen that night or something, or no, but we are ready to do the Who Am I quiz, folks. For everybody that's in the comments and the viewers, you can join in as much as you want. Lads, you're not allowed to, well, especially you, Ryan, you're not allowed to look in the comments.
I'm putting it into the banners, right?
Yeah, so please put your phone on silent. Please put your phone on a different mode. But yes, here we go. So, Alan, I'm going to start off, mate. I'll bring you in, mate, and you can have a go at this first.
Oh,
So the first one of tonight is this here. Lads, talk
Van
about
Dijk?
amongst yourselves. No.
no.
I think I know that, but it's Alan's shot. I might be wrong, though.
Ambrose? No.
That's what I thought it was.
Ambrose? Aye.
Well done, boys.
Aye.
Well
Fair
done.
play.
Well
Retired.
done.
I'm retired now. Go on.
Well done, lads. The folks in the comments and in the viewers and stuff like that, guys, this was probably going to move faster than you, so I do apologise if it does. As I say, we've only got a bit of time, and I did get chinned for taking too long on the last one, so we're just going to get right to it. Boys, here we go.
I think that's Craig Burley.
No.
I ain't got no.
Craig Burley, no. He's quite tall.
I ain't got no that.
Oh, come on then, you're allowed to say.
Am I allowed to say Harold Bratback?
No.
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 Really?
Really?
Who's?
Nobody's got it. One person, sorry's got it in the comments.
Try to think. That looks like the left-hand side of the stadium. Who played in that strip at left back?
Never mind the stadium. Come on, we're no the architectural drawer here. Hold on a minute. Where am I in the stadium?
I was going to say that. VSF.
No.
VSF.
That's a left-hand side of the stadium. He's using his bad
Right,
foot. He's using his good foot.
It looks like a defender to me.
Tosh McKinley?
No, it's not Tosh McKinley. I'll give you another two guesses, and then I'm going to go to the answer.
Is it him? Stefan Mahe?
No.
Nah, it's too skinny for him.
Alan, last guess, mate, and then I am going to the answer.
Dan Jackson?
It is not. No, it is not. It is this man here.
Mark Reaper.
Mark
Reaper, guys, and well done to Patrick McLaughlin in the comments who managed to get that. Big Jerry's not put one comment on about any of the night, so he must be, maybe Big Jerry's fell asleep. Either that or he's set his alarm to get onto your half-10 show on the night line. So who knows, mate, who knows. But here we go, next up.
Maciej Jurowski.
Well done, Ryan.
Aye.
Gold boots, I recognise.
Right off the bat, man, right off the bat.
Big magic.
Aye, big magic.
Big play.
I do apologise. One of the photos, unfortunately, hasn't uploaded into the quiz, but the quiz part of it's there, but the answer isn't.
Do you know who it is, though?
I know who it is, so
right.
I will tell you if you say yes.
Right, that strip's a bit early for me with the looks at it.
So I do apologise for anybody taking part. That
Andy Tom?
It's not Alan, no.
Paul McStay?
No.
John Collins? I think that team is I think that was just a wee nipper when that team was playing, so I don't know.
Right, one. Cadet?
Nope. No, Cadet never played in that strip.
Aye, I know, it's earlier than that, so you're looking at.
I've not got a clue. I could tell you.
Okay, the answer, unfortunately, guys, it's not been uploaded for some reason. I don't know why. I will be looking into that with the Football Monitoring Board when we finish. The answer, Alan, have you still going ahead, mate?
Oh, you go.
It is Brian McLaughlin.
Right.
It was Brian McLaughlin. Right, last one, guys, of the night. Here we go.
Who's that? I'd have been the 10th season, wouldn't it?
Nah, it's Wim Jansen.
That was the Wim Jansen season, yes, I can confirm that.
Matt Burchell.
Nope, he wasn't there, right? He
He
played under Dr. Joe.
That's right, aye.
So you're looking at
Simon, no, it's not Simon Donnelly.
It's a goal for Joe.
It's a go for Joe. It's not Simon Donnelly.
No, it's not.
Paul
I
O'Donnell.
also it's not, mate. No, I had the boots. He's wearing.
Paul Lambert.
No,
Might be, actually.
no, it's not. There is quite a lot of comments of lads, but nobody has
Anoni?
it yet. No, it's not Anoni. No. I'll give you a couple of guesses, guys, and then we'll go to the answer.
Martin Viecost.
It's not Morton. Morton's bigger than Morton's taller than Alan. Come on.
I think I've picked every. David Hanna.
Well done, Alan.
Oh, I'm just going through that full team.
Well done, mate. Hannah,
Jesus.
Davey boy.
That's David Fernandez's love child, man. Jesus.
I said
Sorry,
where you
David.
turned. I
Do
said
you
where
not
you
remember
turned
him,
up.
Ryan? No.
I said where you
I
turned up to
remember.
that meeting.
Aye. Did Tino play with St Johnston, David Hanna?
No, he
Aye,
played
yeah.
with Dundee United, mate.
That's
Aye,
who it
he
was.
went on. He
Aye.
St Johnston after it.
Aye.
He was actually a good player. He just never get gone. About the Willow
Aye.
Flood, he just never get gone for us.
But at least his T-shirt passes him.
At least his jersey fitted him, aye.
Aye.
And that concludes the quiz tonight, boys. Well done. You did get a couple, so well done. Well done to everybody else that took part in the comments, guys. I really appreciate it. Again, guys, I really appreciate your all your comments. I'm really sorry I've not been able to get everybody's comment again up on screen, but you know the reason why. He's been watching us long enough now. And we've also had a debutant to the podcast, Mr. Alan Stirling, joining us tonight. So that's why we've kind of not put a lot of comments up as well. It's his first night. I don't want to make him too nervous. I know he was a bag of jaggies before we started, but we will see how we go now. But again, I want to thank everybody for coming on, and thank everybody for the lovely comments, and thank everybody for your fantastic part regarding how many languages I can speak away for the podcast. I think they brought taking bets at one point there, Ryan, as well. First of all, before we leave, guys, I know this. Remember, guys, we will not be on Friday. This won't be on Friday at all. The reason for that is this. We are doing a fundraising night this coming Friday. It's in Barry 1888 in the London Road, guys. There's still a couple of tickets left. If you want to get in touch, please get in touch between tonight and tomorrow. It's £2 a head. For that, you're getting a podcast. So the podcast is not being recorded, folks, for anybody that didn't know. We will not be on YouTube at all. And as I say, it's not being recorded either. So if you want to see the podcast, you need to come along and see the podcast. With that, you're getting a live podcast, as I say, entertainment, a DJ, Mr. Alec Beveridge, our sponsor. There'll be raffles, guys, and there will be prizes for those raffles as well. There'll be a couple of added wee things in on the night as well. And there'll also be a cold buffet for folks as well. So it'd be lovely to see some of you in person. We've already got some people from the commenters coming along, should I say. And I want to thank everybody again for your fantastic donations that's came, that's came over and came through, and the folk that have contacted us to do so, even the ones that aren't coming along on the night. It's not something that you had to do. So again, we fully do appreciate that. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're really looking forward to doing our first proper live event, Ryan. Before we go, on Friday, guys, this is the start of our small merchandise line for mugs and key rings. So key rings are double-sided. So the prices for them, guys. The mugs will be £5 and the key rings will be £1.50. And they will start going on sale this coming Friday at the fundraiser. So again, guys, if you want to get a hold of them, when you're in the fundraiser, you just go to see Mr. Alec Beveridge, our DJ, and he will sort you out with that. And anybody, again, that wants to buy some, guys, please get in contact with us ASAP, because obviously once this batch is gone, we'll need to get another batch. So once, as I say, if you want to get your hands in any, please get in contact with us as well. But guys, Ryan, unbelievable. Good chat again, boys. Really, and as I say, hail, hail.
Hail, lads.
I'll speak to you once we finish, guys. Ryan, is there anything else you want to add?
No, like obviously Friday night, mate. Looking forward to it. Obviously, a lot of people obviously will be kind of expecting the Friday night show, but if you do want to get along for the show, tickets are still available. Tonight will be the kind of end, because obviously when you get stuff planned for the stuff and stuff. But if you do want to get along to see the Friday show, then it will be in the event. Unfortunately, it's not getting recorded. So you will have to come to the event to obviously see the podcast. But like you said, JP, looking forward to it. Obviously, the event with Alex as well. People get to meet Alex as well. They'll get to meet us, and it is good to meet people that are commenting, JP, because we only see faces. We only see people having a good laugh.
Sometimes
as well,
we don't.
so,
sometimes we just see a photo or whatever it is.
So I'm looking forward to it, mate. It's the start of many good things. We'll get a lot planned for the podcast, and it isn't doable without the fans. This is a fan podcast. Everything we do is to give our fans, we're no experts, but we try and give the fans a different perspective on football and the guests, and hopefully the live events will help that as well. So anybody that does want to obviously get involved with the key rings, they will get in contact with the page. And also, like me and JP have said before, if you're struggling with mental health, if you're struggling with anything at all, give the page a like, give the page a wee comment. Myself and JP and even Alan's on Twitter as well. If you want to chat to Alan about anything, just get in contact and we'll obviously put you in contact with Alan. And Alan, it's been good to chat to you as well, mate. I know we've been texting, so it's good to get your opinions across, mate, and get you the podcast, mate. I've enjoyed it myself, mate, so thanks for coming on.
Spot on. Thanks very much, guys. I appreciate it. Great wee chat. Good to contribute. Thanks again.
Hopefully next time you're on, mate, we'll get your phone standing upright all the time. So that we don't, so that we're not having to look at you with the VAR team.
I had to get the charger in. I'm trapping the wall.
I was waiting Wally Collum walking by the camera there, like, what's going on here?
It was 80-odd%, then it just drained it down on this thing. I'll need to get a laptop sorted.
I actually seen the camera view we saw at Fir Park when they gave Jota for offside about half an hour ago there. That was frightening. I'm wondering where you've actually came from. Are you in that control room, or are you actually
I'm tapping the wall trying to get my charger through. Well, this thing's going concrete. They'll think I'm doing the bill for them.
No, but listen, again, mate, cheers for coming on. Been really good getting your opinions and stuff. And if you want to stay behind, we'll get a wee chat with you before we finish up. And as I say, the rest of these guys, we will see you next Monday evening on here at 8:30. Hope you are well, guys. As I say, the ones that are coming along, we'll see you on Friday. The ones that aren't coming along, have a lovely weekend, and we will see you again. Hail, hail, guys.
Hail, hail.
Hail, hail.
tag.